Here are 51 facts about Bugattis, and you definitely didn't know most of them. The Bugatti Veyron Super Sport was once the fastest car ever made. According to Guinness World Records, it had a top speed of 267.8 miles per hour. The famous Bugatti logo has an oval shape with a red horseshoe around the letter B. It was inspired by sculptures made by Tate Bugatti's friend, Rembrandt Bugatti, who was known for his sculptures of animals. The Bugatti Chiron can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in only 2.5 seconds. Each Bugatti car is carefully crafted by hand. Highly skilled workers put together every part with great attention to detail, making sure everything is perfect and of the best quality. The Bugatti Divo is a special car that only a few lucky people can get. They only made 40 of them. The Veyron got its name from Pierre Veyron, who was born in 1903. He was a racer and driver for Bugatti. Tires for the Veyron 16.4 Super Sport are super expensive, costing $42,000 for a set. When driving at its fastest, the Michelin tires will only last for 15 minutes. When the Veyron is going at its fastest speed, it uses up 45,000 liters of air in just 1 minute. During the 1930s, Bugatti made trains, and one of them was the fastest train in the world. Bugatti faced financial troubles and went bankrupt in the 1930s. However, it recovered later on. Today, it still makes top-of-the-line vehicles, including hypercars and supercars. Making 450 Veyron cars cost about $1.62 billion, mostly because of all the research and development. Even though they sold some special versions for as much as $3 million each, they still couldn't make up for all the money that they'd spent. Bugatti sold all 500 Chiron cars that they made in just 5 years. Michelin had to create special tires specifically for the Chiron to handle its record-breaking speed of 304 miles per hour. Bugatti says that if you took apart all the carbon fiber parts of just one Chiron and lined up all the tiny strands together, it would stretch out for 2,150,100 miles. To put that in perspective, it's like going from Earth to the Moon 9 times and wrapping around the Earth 86 times. The catalytic converters on the Chiron cover an area roughly equivalent to 25 blocks in New York City. The air conditioning system in the Chiron is so advanced that it can cool down a whole apartment. The Chiron's brakes are made using 3D printing technology. These brake calipers, with 8 pistons and made of titanium, are the first of their kind to be produced using a 3D printer. Even though Ettore Bugatti's son Jean died over 80 years ago, his influence is still felt in the unique Lavator Noir. This $18.7 million hypercar is based on one of the most significant Bugattis ever made. In 1991, the EB110 came out and caused a sensation in the car world. It's the only Bugatti made in Italy for mass production, and it set 4 world records: fastest acceleration, fastest series production sports car, fastest sports car fueled by gas, and fastest series production car on ice. It took 6 months to design and make the taillight for the Bugatti 110. The paint job on the Divo Ladybug Bugatti took 2 years to finish. A group of leading automobile designers picked the track-only Bolide as the most beautiful hypercar at the 36th Festival Automobile International in Paris. The Bugatti logo, called the Macaron, has been with Bugatti since the beginning. It's made of 150 grams of sterling silver. The Veyron needs 10 radiators to make sure its powerful quad-turbocharged W16 engine doesn't overheat. Bugatti is famous for making high-tech cars. Not everyone knows that they made other stuff too. Back in the day, Bugatti also made things like pool tables, airplane engines, and trains like earlier mentioned. Bugatti won the 24 Hours of Le Mans twice. Not a lot of people know about Bugatti's EB122 saloon because they only made 3 of them. Bugatti puts diamonds in some of its cars. For example, the Bugatti Veyron has diamonds in its speakers, and in other models you can find them in the speedometer and power needles. Bugatti originally used aluminum grills on the Chiron, but they had to change them later on. The problem was those aluminum grills often got damaged easily and couldn't be fixed. Another issue was birds hitting the car and damaging the radiators because they could fly through the grille. Similar to the Veyron, the Chiron has 10 radiators in total. The cooling system, which includes 1 main radiator and 2 smaller ones, circulates 37 liters of water every 3 seconds to keep the engine from getting too hot. The catalytic converters on the Chiron cover a huge area, about 230,266 square meters, which is equivalent to 30 football pitches. This is because the car has 6 catalytic converters, and the two main ones are 6 times bigger than the one you'd find on a typical medium-sized car. The cool C-bar light strip that begins at the top of the windshield and goes around behind the passengers is the longest light bar ever put on a car. The Chiron is heavier than 4,000 pounds, so it needs a lot of power to reach the speeds Bugatti aimed for. When engineers were testing the first Veyron engine in 2001, they found out it was producing so much heat that it could almost set the factory building on fire. The brakes on the Bugatti Veyron supercar can handle heat up to 1800 degrees Celsius. The body of each Bugatti Veyron can be divided into only 3 parts, and they're held together with just 14 bolts. It takes less time to slow down a Veyron from 100 kilometers per hour to a stop than it does to speed up, which is 2.5 seconds. In 1921, Bugatti Type 13s took part in the Brescia Grand Prix and dominated the race. They finished in the top 4 positions, securing 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th places. Bugatti's super-fast car, the Chiron, is named after the famous racer Louis-Alexandre Chiron. Bugatti says the Chiron is as strong as a top-tier racing car. It can withstand twisting forces of 50,000 Newton meters per degree and bending forces of about 0.25 millimeters per ton. The engine churns out an astonishing 1,500 horsepower without needing any hybrid technology. The modified Chiron reached a speed of 489 kilometers per hour, but it could go even faster. The test was done on Volkswagen Group's track in Germany because it's so close to sea level. If the Chiron had been tested in Nevada, where Koenigsegg set a record, it could have been 24 kilometers per hour faster due to the lower air pressure and thinner air at higher elevations. The new 110 is a modern version of the iconic EB110. The EB110 came out in 1991 and caused a big stir in the car world. The engineers didn't think the Bugatti Veyron's ambitious goals were possible until Ferdinand Piëch, the head of Bugatti at the time, to keep dreaming. But he turned out to be right, and we got an amazing car out of it. According to Net Worth Spot, Bugatti has a net worth of $55.76 million in 2024. In the beginning, Bugatti used aluminum for the Veyron's front grille. However, this didn't work well for testing the car at high speeds. Joseph Caban designed the famous Bugatti Veyron, which became one of the most famous supercars. However, he didn't stay with Bugatti. Instead, he moved on to work for another luxury car company, Rolls-Royce. The Bugatti badge on the Chiron's grille is made of hand-painted sterling silver, and it cost the parent company Volkswagen $550 each. Bugatti says the typical Chiron buyer has around 42 cars, a private jet, a yacht, 3 helicopters, and 4 houses. Unlike most cars, the Bugatti Chiron's torque curve shoots almost straight up from 2,000 RPM and stays flat until 6,700 RPM. Similarly, its power curve also rises quickly and remains high until 6,700 RPM. The Chiron uses a clever method to release exhaust fumes while also making the car more aerodynamic. Even though it looks like the Chiron only has 4 exhaust pipes, it actually has 6, each made of 3.2-inch titanium.